I do want to bring on Craig Shoemaker and Leslie Gudel. Uh, Jeff, we like to talk to people who are doing all different things in and around Philadelphia, who do different things associated with sports. We've got something totally different here. Why don't you bring them on and tell us what we're talking about today?
So we have Leslie Gudel and Craig Shoemaker. How you doing?
Fantastic. I'm out in California, listening to my old hometown, Philadelphia, loving it. I love my sports, no matter how long I've been out in LA.
Look at that. Leslie, how you doing over there?
Hey.
Oh.
There we go. We got Leslie on. So
Hello.
hello there.
So first we have to say, Leslie, we miss your voice on TV.
Oh, Thank you. That's very sweet of you. I appreciate that.
Yes, we'll have to work on. Well, we're getting it back on Amazon Prime now, Jeff, because Leslie and Craig have teamed up, and they're going to be involved with the WolfPAC of Philadelphia. And I'm a Shark Tank guy. I love to see inventions. I enjoy business and mentorship and all those things. So I got to ask, where did the idea of a Philadelphia version come from for this?
Well, I'd love to take that much credit for it, but to be honest with you, Craig called me in a bit of a panic right as they started shooting, and they had lost one of their investors. And he said, "Oh my God, I'm shooting this show in Philly. I need you to come down and help me tape tomorrow. And are you free the next 2 weeks?" And I said, "Let me clear some things on my schedule." Yeah, because we shot the 4 shows over the course of 2 weeks. So I said, "Let me juggle a few things." And Craig's a good friend, and we support each other whenever we can. And I was able to make it happen, and it turned out to be a great move for me. And hopefully they feel the same.
So
And
Craig,
by the way,
yes.
by the way, I should be the Sixers GM for pulling this one off at the last second here, bringing in a stud like Leslie Gudel. She brought the whole thing to a different level. She actually, this was kind of unexpected. Well, maybe it was part of the decision making, but bringing her in, she helped all of the other wolves. It's 5 wolves, if you will, go with the parallel Shark Tank. That's where it ends, though. And the 5 wolves together investing in businesses or not, and they have to make the decision amongst themselves. It has to be a packed decision, not just one or that phony competition that goes on. And a lot of it has to do with philanthropy. That's a big piece of it. And Leslie really ended up coaching the other wolves who were from the VC world and from the finance world. And she was so helpful in that too.
Smarter than me. In different ways. We all brought different
yourself.
strengths to the table. Yes. And we all brought different strengths to the table. I learned a ton from them as much as I did everybody else.
Yeah.
So
and here's the best part
Craig,
about it. The Philadelphia Eagles were involved the entire way. We shot there at the stadium, in the locker room, in the suites, and all over the stadium. They were a big supporter of this because they're so community-minded. And the other character in the show, aside from the 5 wolves, is Philadelphia itself. We shot everywhere, from Ambler to Norristown to South Philly, North Philly, Drexel University, restaurants. And it was an amazing experience because it really showed the world now, because this is shown all over the world, what Philadelphia really is. So community-minded, the neighborhoods, the diversity. And we even had the athletes like Seth Joyner and Brian Dawkins involved, and Dave Spadaro, the insider of the Eagles. So it showed Philadelphia in the greatest light. I'm so proud of it.
So Craig, I was going to ask Leslie this question, but since you brought up all this Eagles stuff, do you know who the next head coach is going to be?
As I see everybody else starting to hire, I'm like, come on, guys, get going.
That was such a Philadelphia question. I love it. Every time I go back there or on radio, it's just such a unique town. And that's focused in the show is the genuineness and the truthful nature of that question itself, which is funny. And the answer is, I don't know.
So Craig, why did you pick Philadelphia? We know you're a Temple University alum.
Yeah.
You spent your times here, including bartending before you went into comedy. But what made you choose Philadelphia as a place that was going to be an incubator for this kind of idea and these kind of mentorship programs?
Well, we will be bringing it out to different cities. We have WolfPAC Boston coming up. We're doing 6 more episodes in Philadelphia. I was approached by a guy. There's another Philadelphia element you don't see anywhere else in the country, especially in Los Angeles, where I live, is a guy from 3rd grade, our genius from 3rd grade. He left us in 7th grade for private school at GA, but kept me in the public system. The biggest thing I missed about him is I had to find someone else to cheat off of. But Ken Griswold's the founding wolf of this, and he created a show called Biz Show, and I put my little, mark on it and made it community minded and philanthropy minded, and we went to all these locations. So he came to my show in Phoenixville. I'm a comedian. I came to my comedy show in Phoenixville at the Colonial last December, and by February we were up and shooting, and we got 4 episodes in before COVID. Used an all Philadelphia crew, some of my Temple alum, people from my neighborhood, my accountants from kindergarten, Ken from 3rd grade. So that's the reason I went to Philadelphia. No better place.
That is so Philly. You know that, right? That is so Philly. When I moved to Philadelphia in 1997, I had read something about it being the smallest big town or the biggest city in the country with the fewest number of people moving in and the fewest number of people moving out. It's like nobody leaves here except Craig.
Except Craig. That's right. He goes out to Cali and then
I'm coming back.
When you get that
he
big
goes
time,
to California, sits in the warm weather, and calls in.
But
I don't have to shovel a driveway. That's my motto. But
are you sun tanning in the backyard with your neighbor Pistol Pete or Pilot Pete or whatever his name, Pilot Pete?
Oh, that's right. He's my neighbor from The Bachelor. I steal oranges from his tree because I'm so Philadelphia through and through. But by the way, one of the episodes opens up with the second episode opens up with Leslie going. They say, "Where'd this business come from?" Because it's 4 different businesses. We do a deep dive, and they're in it they want financing and mentorship from the Wolves. And one of the businesses, Leslie says, "Well, this one came to us from our executive producer, Craig Shoemaker, who knows everyone." And it was my friend's daughter. My friend's daughter is the subject of the second business we cover on the second episode.
And you mentioned the charitable side of this. We often talk about the intersection of sports and charity and community and the platform that athletes and sports have to raise awareness for other things. Here you're tying athletes into it, but you're also supporting some of their charities. Brian Dawkins' Impact Foundation, he's a part of the show. Can you talk about how you weave sports throughout what's going on here to really highlight the city and the good things that are done here?
Well, I think Leslie can really speak to that because she certainly comes from the sports world, and it's really all throughout the show is fans of sports in Philadelphia. There's nothing like them, and Leslie, you can speak to that more than anyone.
Oh, for sure. I mean, when I got a job offer here in 1997, I was given another offer down at what used to be Home Team Sports down in Baltimore for more money. And there was something about the city that said, I knew this, being from LA, there's just no better sports town. I mean, the only one that I think could compare in terms of the energy and intensity might be Boston, but nothing really compares. Mm-hmm. So everything that happens here, I mean, I was on the air in LA for 2 years. No one ever said, "Oh, hey, you're that sports person." I was here a week. People are like, "Hey, Leslie." I'm like, "Hi, do I know them?" I mean, everybody's involved in sports here. Men, women. It's not like it's not just the guys hang out around here. The women are just as into it as the men are.
It's that Leslie, neighborhood feel. Sorry.
Yeah, Craig.
The neighborhood feel is really what we went for as well, and it was so easy to do that. We were at the Rim Cafe in South Philly making chocolate for everyone, and we're on the bongos, and then Mushaloo Restaurant, Autograph out by Leslie in Villanova. I mean, this is all part of what the show is, and it separates us from Shark Tank. There's nothing canned; it's all organic, and that's Philadelphia and their sports. That is true authenticity. And it's generational. So we brought in Seth Joyner also. He's one of the Wolves. He's like a subwoofer. So he comes into the 4th episode, and Dawkins with the foundation. We had to make sure that the philanthropic piece had to be a part of it. Of all the businesses, they had to have that piece to their business because it's about giving back as well. And that's something else we teach the viewer. And what better time to establish your business than now when a lot of people are out of their businesses and have to pivot. So the timing was actually pretty good on releasing this show right now.
And
yeah,
Leslie
I totally agree.
And Leslie seems to be the perfect example of that. I mean, most of us know Leslie from telling us all of our sports news. And Leslie left there and has become an amazing entrepreneur. Leslie, how did you get involved in all of this?
Just the entrepreneur world. I invented a baby product when my daughter was younger, and I've had my highest highs and lowest lows over the course of 4 years, but it was a wildly successful product by almost all accounts. And so I learned a ton. I watched my father, who, started in the mailroom at a title insurance company out of the Navy and built it to ended up starting his own company and taking it public. And I just watched that progression and how he handled people and how important the team aspect was to things. So there's so much crossover between sports and that you can't do something alone. It's a collaborative effort. It takes work at any hour of the day. The parallels are really quite amazing. And then I also started a foundation in my daughter's name called Kendall's Crusade after she had a stroke 5 years ago, which Craig has helped me with in our events. And there's just that community piece. And now the show, one of the guys who we profile on the show, Pat Waters, longtime sports marketing person here in the city, he and I have gone into business together and are in the process of building a sports agency that has marketing and all other facets. So it literally, each thing leads to another, the connections, the family, the unity that goes along with it. And so I'm glad to be dipping my toe back in, and I'm ready to dive back into the sports world.
Leslie, you're not even going to have time to watch your own show.
I've never been one to watch myself on TV anyway, so that's okay.
So Craig, where can people catch this show?
Well, it's on Amazon for now. We're going to other networks, but it's on Amazon. Now, the only negative, God, the reviews have been awesome and the response has been amazing. The only difficulty is, and at first when Leslie told me she was having a hard time finding it in her search, I thought it was her
the dumb blonde couldn't figure it out, right?
but I didn't say that. But then when she pulled the teenager in, and he couldn't do it. So there seems to be a problem in Philadelphia. You have to put WolfPAC PAC in quotes when you're searching on Amazon. For right now, we're trying to work it out, or put Craig Shoemaker, director, put my name in there, and it'll come up. But watch the show. You'll see how much fun it is. Obviously being a comedian, we brought some laughter to the set. And it was really easy to coach Leslie and everyone else. They ended up loosening up and having a great time and teaching about small business and what entrepreneurs are looking for.
Well, and Craig posted the link as if high on social media, so people can actually go to the link through there and they can put on their watch list and then just pull it up on their TV that way too.
And I've had the chance to watch that first episode, and it really is good and it's fun.
Yeah, it's Tony Luke in it. My old buddy Tony Luke is in it too, and he brings the goods. And then Dave Spadaro, the insider of the Eagles. How great was he in this? I told him, you better get an agent. You're going to be a star.
Well, now he can go get Leslie, so it'll be all good.
Let me tell you something about entrepreneurs, though. You don't get that far, even just getting the company off the ground, without passion. And I just feel like that shows through. And that alone is intoxicating, to see these people who just care so much about what they're doing and what they're building. And again, the parallels with sports and that whole, team, and you want to get behind people and root for them. This show's full of that.
Well, we encourage everybody to check it out on Amazon Prime. Look forward to having you both on as the show goes forward. Talk that and other sports. Thank you both for a little bit of time today.
Thanks, you. Guys. You go to the WolfPACPAC.com. We're starting a podcast, and you get more information. And maybe you can be the next business that we feature on Amazon Prime on the WolfPAC. Just check us out and stay in touch. And I'm official Craig Shoemaker on Instagram, producing the show, 6 more episodes. So we will be back in contact with you. Maybe you guys will have some sports app that we can focus on or something.
Jeff and I are going to have to brainstorm.
Jason and I will be applying immediately.
Yes, we will get started. Thank you so much for the time, guys. You have a great day.
You got it. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you. Bye.